What are the 15 dumbest things I spent money on and I bought and now I regret? And that's why I'm making this video, because most of these things on my list, I'm pretty sure, almost like 99% sure that you will be buying these things also. So if I can make a video about it and then you can avoid them, then why wouldn't I make a video about it, you know? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the 15 dumbest things I bought in my life and how you yourself can avoid buying these things. And if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant. I post videos every single day on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new video. On top of that, do me a favor, hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow a ton. So thank you if you hit that like button. Thank you so much. And here's a question for you guys, okay? What's the dumbest thing you've ever spent money on? Comment down below, let me know. And for me, I remember being 12 years old and I went to buy a video game with my first check. It was like Naruto Ultimate Ninja 4, okay? I bought this game and I beat the game in 1 hour. The full game, 1 hour. I went back to get a refund. The guy said, no, you opened it, you used it, no refund. So there I was, laying down, thinking about my entire life at 12 years old and saying, like, you know what, I just wasted $60, yes, $60 back then, $60 on this video game for what? For 1 hour. Not worth it. I spent 12 hours working for $60, and, well, I think it was like 8, okay, I'm exaggerating. 8 hours to like 6 hours working for $60, and then I wasted it for 1 hour of entertainment. Big waste of money. That's mine. What's yours? Comment down below. Let me know. And before I get started, guys, I just want to clarify one thing here. I wish that all these 15 things were like, okay, you know, you live and you learn. But in reality, most of these things are excuses that I made because I knew for a fact that these things were going to be mistakes. But I still did it because I said, you know what? You live and you learn. You know, YOLO. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Well, no. I'm hoping you watch this video and you avoid doing these things like altogether. So there you go. No excuses, just avoid it altogether. Now, let's get into it. The 15 dumbest things I ever bought are as follows. Number 1, you probably can't guess it, can you? But it's actually going to college. Now, you might be wondering, Tommy, what do you mean? You got a degree, you're an accountant. What's the big deal here? It sounds like you did great. Well, the answer is this. The only reason I went to college was because I didn't know what to do when I was 17 years old, because I graduated when I was 17. I didn't know what to do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to college. I'm going to do accounting, and then that sounds great. So why not do it? They earn money. Great. But here's the thing, guys. I got very lucky because I had good grades, and I got a $25,000 scholarship plus $10,000, like $35,000. Plus, I was kind of poor on paper. So guess what? I also got financial aid. Thus, it only cost me around $13,000 for a degree. But in reality, this degree cost me in this private college around $80,000 to $100,000. The entire degree. It's insane. I only paid $30,000, but in reality, I owe around $22,000 in student loans because I took out money to start my business, and I don't regret that. So if you're asking me, Tommy, what do you regret about it? Well, I regret the fact that I went to college for a simple fact that I didn't know what to do. If I could do it all over again, I would probably not do it all over again. I would just like do it the same way, because I met my girlfriend and I learned about stocks and like investments, and I am the person I am today because of that experience. But in reality, I would have probably gone to like more internships, did more jobs when I was in high school, and that way I would have had a lot more experience and I would have known exactly what I wanted to get into from the very beginning, from the get-go, okay? Now, number 2 is actually friends. Tommy, what are you talking about? You know, are you talking about like you just built a friend, like build a bear, you just like bought a friend? No. The answer is this, okay? When I was in college, I had, like, you know, like when you go somewhere brand new, you don't have any friends. Well, I had a few friends that I made instantly. Like, you just make those friends like the first week, which is great. But in reality, I started buying fancy stuff that then led me to meeting new people in school and outside of school. But those people, I only met them because I spent money on those items. So in reality, those people that were my friends back then, they were really only my friends because we had those similarities, which is basically we spend money on them. You just finish it off, you know, the S word, okay? Well, we spend money on dumb stuff, so we're friends now, okay? But in reality, if you ask me, Tommy, what do you regret about this? The answer is, you know, I probably wouldn't spend any money like that like I did back then, but I don't really regret it because I met some of my best friends today because of that. You know, I have like, by the way, I met like maybe like over like 50 to 100 people because of this, and I only kept out of the 100 people only like around 1 to 2 friends, and they're like my best friends now. So I don't regret it because it was worth it to find that quality. But again, Did I have to spend all that money? Well, probably not. Okay, so there you go. Friends, spending money on things you don't need to meet these people is not necessary, so don't do it. It costs a lot of money. Don't do it. Not necessary. You don't need to meet these fancy people at all. Now, number 3 is this. Okay, you know this one, and I'm pretty sure you've done it already. If not yet, you will do it. I guarantee it, even by me telling you right now. And it's actually experiences. Okay, Tommy, what do you mean? Well, I mean this entire thing, okay? The YOLO experiences, when you're like, okay, you know, YOLO, I want to go to Hawaii, I want to do this just to experience everything, so I don't care about the money that much because, you know what, I have to live a little, okay? And it's that entire thing. And by the way, you probably asked me, Tommy, well, what did you actually spend the money on? You know, the YOLO thing. Well, the answer is this. I spent money on Equinox. You probably heard it already. It's a gym, very fancy, very corporate, it has everything. I spent $300 a month for an entire summer, like 301, like you know, entire like 2 months of summer, okay? 300, that's $600 on Equinox, going to the gym. Well, my excuse was this, okay? You know, if I go to the gym in Equinox, they have a basketball court, swimming pool, sauna, and I can meet fancy people, so then that way I get more connections and I network. Well, the truth is, I just wanted to be fancy and I wanted to try it out. That's the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. And guess what happened? I ended up going for like the first half of the summer, and then I just stopped because it was like, okay, I just don't want to be traveling to the city every single day to go to the gym and like work out, but I don't really want to work out, okay? So I stopped, but that cost me around $600. But guys, today what I do is this, okay? I go to the gym like what is it, like 10 minutes away from my house, and I go every single day, and I've been going there every single day for the past like 300 or 200 days. The same amount of videos I've been doing here, like every single day, I've been going to the gym every single day. Now, I only pay around $15 every single month. That means I only spend around 20 cents a day to go to the gym, which is great. A great deal, a great bargain, and the same gains, the same people, the same thing, and I don't have to pay anyone $300 a month, okay? Avoid it. By the way, if you're wondering, Tommy, how did you get out of it? Well, the answer is this. I did a little Photoshop magic. I won't go into details, but I got out the contract by doing Photoshop. I won't go into details, but you can probably figure it out, okay? But yeah, they weren't going to let me out. But I got out, and I avoided all the cancellation fees and all that fancy stuff. There you go. That's my secret. Now, number 4 is actually shoes, sneakers, shoes. Now, here you go, guys. I have these sneakers back here. These are Yeezys, right? I bought these sneakers for $100 from a friend, and I have another pair over here that I got for free from my friend, and he's a very cool friend. He has a whole bunch of sneakers, is what he does. So he said, you know what, Tommy, I'll hook you up. And I was like, thank you so much. But back in the days, I wasn't getting stuff for free, okay? I was paying a lot of money every single week, every single month for sneakers, around like $1,000 a month, okay? I would buy sneakers here, sneakers there, and I had around 23 pairs. And the average cost is around between $200 to $300 per pair. So do some math. 23 times 300, that's around $6,900, okay? By the way, I'm looking at the screen right here. I have it written down. Don't think I'm like a mathematician, okay? Even though I'm an accountant. But in reality, guys, I spent so much money on these shoes. And my excuse was, you know, I'm going to buy this stuff. I'm going to flip it. I can look fancy, make connections also. But in reality, I was buying and flipping, yes, but I was keeping most of the merchandise, okay? And you don't want to do that. So it ended up costing me a lot of money because eventually I had to sell the things that I wore, like the sneakers I wore, for a very low price, okay? And that ended up like very bad. Now I just go to Goodwill and I buy sneakers from there, and I just ask my friends and see if they're selling anything, and I get like a good deal there, okay? So again, by the way, I wear fancy stuff, okay? I wear Yeezys, like Jordans, all this fancy stuff, but I always make sure I get the best deals possible. I don't want to pay over $100 for a pair of shoes, okay? That's my thing now. Now, number 5. I bought a $3,000 MacBook when I was, I think, like 19. And I bought it on a credit card also. Now, you're probably wondering, Tommy, big mistake. Yes, that's what I'm putting in here. On top of that, was around the time I stopped working. And guess what? I had all those bills still coming in. So I had to get very thoughtful and thankful and very, how do you say this, you know, I had to get very creative with the way I made money to pay this bill on time every single month, and I did, which is great. But my excuse was, you know, I need to buy this MacBook because it's the best thing ever. But in reality, I could have bought a MacBook, well, not a MacBook, I could have bought a PC maxed out in specs back then, plus a laptop with really good specs, and done the same thing that I would have done with the MacBook, because in reality, I only wanted to look fancy by having this MacBook. By the way, by having a MacBook, I ended up getting like a iPhone, MacBook, AirPods, and now I'm gonna get like an iWatch. Okay, not yet. I'm gonna get it for free. Don't worry. But it's all about upselling. So just by buying one Apple product, I ended up with a whole bunch of Apple products also. So I definitely regret buying that laptop because it wasn't necessary. But I don't regret spending money on like the laptop, because in reality it helped me with my YouTube channel, but I would have just done it in a different way and avoided spending over $3,000 on a laptop. Not necessary whatsoever. Now, number 6 is Starbucks coffee. Now, I always make jokes on the channel, but in reality, I have gone to Starbucks before. Well, lately, this year, I only go there and like get like free water whenever like it's around and I'm thirsty. But back in the days, like a year ago, I would get a hot chocolate, because I don't drink coffee, every time I would go to a Starbucks, okay? And it was like, you know, I would go like maybe like once a month or like once every quarter. So it's not a lot, but I still regret spending money on something because, again, it's so expensive. So in reality, guys, you might find it to be a joke, but my main point here is you don't want to spend money on these fancy names, okay? Like fancy pizza, like fancy ice cream, fancy coffee, like all these things with these high premiums. Stay away from them. They're not necessary. By the way, I can make my own hot chocolate, organic, very hot, with marshmallows on it for a very low price, okay? So I don't need to go to Starbucks to get a fancy cup with a what is it like on the cup? You know, is it a mermaid? I don't know what it is, okay? But I don't need to pay extra money for that stuff, okay? So I stay away from Starbucks. I have a problem over there, and I don't go over there, okay? Only to get water for free. That's it. Nothing else, I promise. Now, number 8. Oh my god, I don't want to get exposed, okay? So listen there, okay? I think this year I bought one hot chocolate from Starbucks. Just one, okay? So in 9 months, I've only bought one because I just wanted one and it was around, okay? But I never buy this stuff, okay? So there you go. I don't want to get exposed, so I'm just putting it out there first, like Eminem, okay? So there you go. You can't expose me anymore. I just bought one this year. That's it, for like $4 or $5. Again, I have nightmares about this stuff, okay? I have nightmares. I can't stop thinking about it. Now, number 7 is actually advice. Well, Tommy, you can't buy advice, okay? Well, are you sure? Because you buy seminars and also like mentorship, so you can buy advice. So here's my thing. This advice didn't cost me any money, but it kind of did because it was in college. But the main thing is that I got advice from a professor that taught me how to do stocks. Well, basically, he taught me that stocks are important and how to buy them, but that was it. No formulas, no strategies, no nothing, okay? And here's my thing. I took his advice when it came to buying a specific stock, and it was actually CNX, okay? That's the ticker symbol, CNX. I wanted to buy a stock because it made sense with my formula, the intrinsic value, the company was doing very well, they were doing a new contract, all this stuff, and it was selling for like $4 a share. He told me, don't do it. It's not good. I asked him why. He said, just trust me. Don't do it. Well, in reality, he didn't know what he was talking about, okay? Because later, 1 year later, that stock jumped by $15. So in reality, I could have bought it at $4 and sold it at $15, but I didn't buy it because of the advice. So again, make sure whenever you're buying advice or listening to advice, because in this case, I did buy it with my college money, you want to make sure you're getting the right advice from people that are qualified and not people that are just going based on their opinion, okay? And there you go. I lost a lot of money by not buying that stock by listening to this one professor. So there you go. Now, number 8 is actually buying a new phone. Now, guys, you guys know I have an iPhone X. I got it for free. I also have a Samsung Galaxy S9. I bought it for free also. But the main thing is this. Before I got to this point right now, I made my mom. I will never forget this moment, by the way. I will never forget this. I remember it was back in 2013. I made my mom buy me a new Galaxy S4 for around $700 from T-Mobile. I bought this phone, and it was the biggest mistake ever, because now I know that buying new phones make no sense, because today that phone is worth around like $60 to $100, so it's not worth anything. So phones lose way too much value way too fast, so it's never a good idea to actually buy these things brand new and outright. So what I do now is that I would buy a phone, I would sell it, flip it, and then use the profits to buy me a new phone for free. That's what I do, okay? By the way, I have a full video on it. If you want to watch that video, I'm going to link it down below. But the main idea is this, guys. My biggest regret is making my mom buy me that phone when it didn't make any sense. By the way, I didn't need it to, like, you know, for anything. I just needed it for games and like to basically, well, it was like 2013, I was a kid, so I played a lot of games back then on my phone. On top of that, I only needed to like text and call. So why the heck did I need a $700 phone? I don't know, but it's one of my biggest regrets, by the way. Now, number 9. I feel a little guilty now, but let's go. Let's keep moving. Number 9 is actually $400 worth of leather bags. Now, you guys might not know this, but I have this book bag right here, and it's made out of the leather. I had it like for the past like 5 years, I think. And you might tell me, Tommy, sounds expensive. How much did it cost you? Well, I just sold you $400 worth. So I bought this one and a brown one for $200 each. But hear me out, guys. I bought this when I was working at Gap. And, you know, I got taken advantage of when they told me, like, hey, Tommy, you get an employee discount, 50% off. But in reality, the margins on this product are so large that this still made a ton of money from me. So I only bought this bag. Retail is $200. I bought it for $100. But the company still made around $75 or maybe like $50 off the product. So I should have never bought it. If I could do it all over again, I would probably bought it from like used, or maybe like from a third world country, like for a cheaper price, like no importing, none of that stuff. So in reality, by the way, this is in very good condition. Like leather is great. I haven't bought a bag in the past like 5 years, only like for camera equipment. But this is my go-to bag, so I don't really regret it. But again, I probably wouldn't spend $200 on 2 leather bags now that I think about it. But it's a great price. Here I am justifying everything. But again, it's not a great price, but I'm just saying, okay, it was cool. I haven't bought a bag in the last like 5 years. So there you go. Now, number 10 is buying GoPro stock. Tommy, GoPro does terrible. What are you doing? Well, back in 2015, I think, or like 2014, when I bought GoPro, it was doing very well. But here's why I regret it so much. Okay, it's not because the stock went down. I don't care about that. It's because I bought it solely based on emotion. I bought it because I saw like Casey Neistat, all these YouTubers using it. I was like, okay, you know what? This is great. By the way, I ran my formula past it, and the formula said, hey, intrinsic value is terrible, P ratio is terrible, everything is terrible about this company, liability, debt, all this stuff is terrible. You shouldn't buy it. But I said, you know what? It's gonna go up, bro. Have trust, have faith. Well, I bought it, and it sank. And I never, ever again since then had bought a stock based on emotion. I only buy based on formulas, strategies, and plans. No emotions here, just facts. That's what I do now. Now, number 11 is this. I got locked in a contract with eBay once because I purchased an anchor program. Well, Tommy, what do you mean here? Stop right there. Well, the answer is this, okay? I regret getting into contracts for a long period of times when in reality, I don't know if I'm going to stick around for like a long period of time. So here's my thing. I got a contract with eBay for an entire year, and I ended up canceling it because it didn't make any sense anymore. So I canceled it, but I had to pay termination fees. Now, I didn't make enough money where it covered all the fees, and I still made a lot of profit, which is great, but I should have never spent money on terminating a contract because I should have gone with like month to month and not like a yearly thing, okay? Especially like when you're not sure if you're going to do it like for the entire year. So always go for month to month if you're not sure you're going to do it like for the entire year. That's what I recommend always. Now, by the way, it cost me around like $2,000, by the way, but I made like, you know, a lot more than that. A lot more. Just in cashback, I did like around like over like $1,000. Just like do the math. If cashback was $1,000, it's like, you know, like 2 to 5%. Imagine how much money I made. A lot of money. So there you go, guys. That's number 11. And now number 12 is actually paying someone to do my taxes. By the way, I'm an accountant. I still a little time here. But before I was an accountant, I was just a student trying to become an accountant. I had 2 jobs, and I was like, okay, I need to do my taxes. Let me just go to H&R Block. And I still have nightmares until this day about this day because I spent $115 trying to get my taxes done by this lady. And guess what? She did it for me, which is great. But I should have never paid $1 because the next year after that, I went to TurboTax and I did it for free without having to pay anybody any money. But in reality, I did learn something from this woman because I remember she told me, she was like, you know, Tommy, just remember, time passes either way, so just make sure you're spending it doing like what you actually want to do. And I never forget this quote, okay, because I remember I wanted everything so quickly, but she told me like, hey, settle down, okay? Time is gonna pass either way, so just spend it doing what you want it, like what you want to make it, you know? So for example, I spent 4 years doing YouTube videos and I never stopped because, hey, time is gonna pass either way, so why stop in the first place, okay? So that $115 like got me here in a sense, so there you go. It's kind of worth it, but not really. I still have nightmares about it. Let's not talk about it anymore. Now, number 13 is actually I have way too many PlayStation 4 games. And you're probably telling me, Tommy, what are you talking about? Well, what I'm saying here is basically, you know, a lot of the times you think by having a lot of options is better, you're better off, but in reality, you're probably not. Because here's my thing, guys. I have, did I just close it or open it? I don't know what's going on here. But here's my thing, guys. I have a lot of games here, like, you know, game, and this is just like the CD things, but I have like more games like in like physical copies there for, I think I have like over like 30 games, like 25 games. I'm selling them. If you want them, just like let me know, DM me. But the main thing is this, most of the time you think that you want like more of what you already have, and usually I would only spend like time on one game, and I sold everything, by the way. I don't even have PS4 anymore. So the main thing is this: don't spend money on having way too many options. Like for example, I know some people out there that buy like 16 like lipsticks, like for what? Okay, you just wear like the one, okay, the one that looks pretty on you. So why have 16 of them? Like, why have 30 games when you only play one? So there you go. Why have 18 or 20 shoes when you only wear like 1 or 2 pairs every single week? Okay, that's what I'm saying here. So there you go. Too many options, too much money. Why do it in the first place? Now, number 14 is I bought followers and I bought likes. Now this was back, I think like 5 to 6 years ago. No, not that way back. Like, you know, like 4 to 3 years ago, I think. I bought likes and I bought followers also because I said, you know what? I want more authority on my channel and I want to, you know, have more followers. And then that when people come, they'd be like, okay, this guy has followers, let me follow them. Now, that's an entire strategy there. But the reason I was doing it back then was because, you know, I wanted more likes. And by the way, I also used to use like those apps, like where you go and you hit like and then you use the coins and you get likes on your pictures. I used to use those too, you know, but like not anymore. It makes no sense. It's not worth it, okay? Especially when you're trying to build a business, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's either organic or it's paid traffic. If it's not either of those, you're not gonna get like any value in that. So I no longer do that, but I know a lot of people still do that I know, and it's not worth it. So just stop right there. And a lot of times, it's kind of like insecurities where you think like, hey, your pictures only get like 1 like and you have like 10,000 followers. Like, I don't care about that stuff anymore. Like, I post my pictures, they get likes, they don't get likes. I don't care. I'm all about value. If I get likes, then great. If I don't, who cares, you know? You don't want to live based on like those things. By the way, I spent around like, what is it, like I think like $30. And once I spent that money, I was like, you know, I'm way too cheap for this. I no longer do that. Doesn't make any sense. It's not worth it. You don't really get a lot of quality there. So I just rather do everything organically. Slower, yes, but it makes a lot more sense because people that come in, they're a lot more value based. Not just like, okay, like, you know, you have followers. It's not about that. Okay, so there you go. That's an entire video, by the way. I should make one. Now, number 15 is that I tried to get in the wrong market when I didn't know what I was doing. This cost me around $40 to $60, and I still have nightmares about this one too, guys. I went ahead and I told my friend, hey, I want to start buying Supreme like you do. And he told me, like, yeah, okay, you can do it, I guess, okay. And I went ahead and I bought these Supreme hoodies, and I sold them for a loss. That's it. That's the story right there. So here's the entire reasoning here. You want to make sure whatever you're buying, you buy it, but you also know the market so you can flip it or sell it for a higher price. So when that happened, I actually lost money, and he told me, hey, I told you so not to buy those products. And I told him, yeah, you told me so, but who cares what you said, okay? Well, now I care because I lost money, but in the moment I was like, you know, I'm right about this one, but I wasn't right. He knew what he was talking about, I didn't. So there you go. And in conclusion, guys, comment down below and let me know which one of these 15 biggest, dumbest mistakes I ever made in my life, basically like buying these products, well, which one do you want to avoid by all costs? And if you ask me, I want to avoid the Starbucks and buying all that fancy stuff, like, you know, oh, I want my hot wings from like this guy that sells them for like $80, or I want the hot chocolate in Starbucks because it costs like $10. I never want to be that person again. So there you go, my biggest regret. I still have nightmares about it. Again, don't tell anybody. But guys, before I go, I just want to leave you one thing. Again, you live and you learn, but that's not an excuse to make mistakes when you know there will be mistakes. So just avoid them at all costs. Now, guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. It helps the channel grow a ton, so thank you so much when you hit the like button. I really appreciate it. On top of that, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. I answer all my DMs. And if you want to watch more videos, click this video right here. It's on the 5 biggest mistakes I ever made when it comes to finance. Trust me, you'll like this one if you like this one right now. On top of that, hit my face right here to subscribe to the channel right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then that's everything for watching, and peace.